The Black Ops Cold War open beta has come and gone. I played it for over 15 hours on PC and have a lot of thoughts on my experience and definitely wanted to share to see if it compares to others' experiences with the game. There's a lot to talk about, both good and bad, and I've been wanting to do a retrospective on the Black Ops Saga for a while, so this feels like great timing for a retrospective. My name is Kai, welcome to Awesomazing. Let's talk about Black Ops. I'll have some raw footage going on in the back, so enjoy the mediocre gameplay. I'll start with the stuff I didn't like and feel needs tweaking. The number one thing that resulted in me dying way more than I should have was the funky lighting in certain maps. There were so many times where I would run into a dark area from a lit one and it would be like pitch black for 2 seconds, or someone would kill me from the shadows and I didn't even know they existed there. I don't know what exactly is causing these lighting issues, but it definitely needs tweaking. Hit registration was bizarre at times. 40% of the time I know I won a gunfight, 40% I know I didn't, but 20% was up in the air where I'm like, why did I win that, or why did they win that? It didn't feel like it was a network issue either, so I hope it gets resolved whatever the issue is. The overpowered weapons in the beta were definitely both snipers and the Uzi. Snipers need to have flinch, and the Uzi's range needs to be toned down. While all three of these weapons are super fun to use, they need to be balanced a bit, please. Score streak values definitely need to be adjusted. I'm pretty neutral between either score streaks or kill streaks, but if we're doing score streaks, certain values definitely need to be changed. It's rough playing kill confirmed when there are 4 choppers in the skies duking it out when you just need 2 more dog tags. It'd be nice for some value adjustment to make it less chaotic in the endgame of matches. Combined Arms Assault, while fun at the start, needs to change the way that the timer is handled. A single game of Assault for Combined Arms can go up to an hour if your team and the opponents have 2 points locked down. The timer only goes down in the small interval between control points, so the game feels endless. Adjust the timer and you fix this issue though. And of course, the one thing that damn near everyone has complained about as a problem with this game, skill-based matchmaking. The second I hit max level in the beta, skill-based matchmaking hit like a truck. If I won a single game the next 5, I would be getting my teeth kicked in by people with scuffed controllers and who snorted 3 lines of G Fuel before the match. Aggressive skill-based matchmaking like this does not belong in a public match. This has never been an issue in previous Call of Duty, so trying to make it one is moronic and will only push people away. Have a ranked playlist and have matchmaking that balances out skill levels, because it definitely left me ending the beta on a sour note. I still had fun, but it was nowhere close to the fun I had at the beginning. Now you might think, damn, that's a decent amount of bad stuff. Was there any good stuff? And yeah, there is a solid amount of good stuff that I had a fun time with. For starters, guns, weapon handling, and mobility all felt really good. The core mechanics of the game all felt great, and control on both keyboard and mouse and controller felt excellent. The gun roster is a bit small, but I would much rather prefer a refined roster of weapons where the majority feels great, rather than a massive roster of weapons with quality that's all over the place. The only class I felt that was significantly worse than the others were the LMGs, though that does come with an asterisk. The LMGs aren't great for engagements in the main playlist, however, if you need a UAV or chopper gunner out of the skies, LMGs annihilate aerial threats. Currently, the LMG class exists as an almost too good counter to score streaks. The rest of the gun classes I tried all felt really good with solid animation and handling. Excited to use these weapons and zombies in the campaign. And like I mentioned earlier, this game will definitely be sided towards SMGs and snipers, so if that's your playstyle, you will have a lot of fun with this COD. As an AR main, I had a great time with the Krig and XM4. You definitely hear that Treyarch sound design in the beta. That multiplayer Q music is a banger. I never had an issue with hearing enemy footsteps, nor did I ever feel overwhelmed by sound effects. The guns could use a little more punch to their sound, a lot of them ended up sounding a bit samey, but overall the sound design is what I expect from a Treyarch title. Map design. I liked it. There was never any map that screamed Piccadilly level bad, so that's good. My only complaint is that certain maps feel very sided towards specific game modes, like a map will feel really good in kill confirmed or team deathmatch, but not as fun in controller hardpoint and vice versa. I don't know if that's a nitpicky complaint or not. Overall though, I enjoyed the structure of the maps, and I'm loving the aesthetic design that Treyarch is choosing to do for Cold War. As far as the new modes go, Fireteam Dirty Bomb shocked me. It's like Battle Royale Extra Lives Edition. Dropping on a zone, trying to deposit your uranium and fighting over points to get your team to the top was insanely intense and enjoyable. Playing this with my man Dallas was some of the most fun I had in the entire beta, and I know I will play a ton of this mode when the game launches. It definitely isn't for everyone though. A good chunk of people who play this are probably just going to go back to Warzone, but I think this will appeal to people who aren't super into Battle Royales, and I'm interested to see what the community for this mode will be like. Even though I have my complaints about Combined Arms Assault mode, Combined Arms Domination was awesome. I had fun in every single match. It's like Call of Duty Battlefield, and since there hasn't been a good Battlefield in a hot minute, this mode did a great job of filling the void. If you've missed Battlefield, this mode might scratch that itch. VIP Escort was pretty fun. It's a spin on Search and Destroy. Instead of taking a bomb to 2 sites, a random player is selected on a team to be the VIP, and your objective is to either eliminate the enemy team or have the VIP exfil out of 2 zones. This mode was a fun spin on the traditional S&D mode, and while I don't think it'll replace Search and Destroy, it was a fun alternative to it, and I think I'll play it every now and again. It has potential. And lastly, my overall technical performance during the beta was good. Got some jitters in my first Dirty Bomb match and got a connection error in one Dom game, but besides that, my network experience was really good. So a mix of highs and lows during the course of this beta, but I definitely had a great time more than I did a bad one. Playing alone or with my man Dallas both led to some good old gaming. And I've been meaning to do this for a while. I've been wanting to find a way to review and talk about my history with the Black Ops saga. And seeing how my final thoughts are for the beta, I think now's a good time to do a little retrospective on what I loved most from previous Black Ops games. And now that I've played the beta, my hopes for the future with Cold War. Now if you don't give a damn about my thoughts on the franchise and just want to hear my final Cold War rating, feel free to jump to the end for my final review and I'll timestamp it below. And I'll say this before I talk about my retrospective on the Black Ops saga. These are my opinions. Please don't take them personally if you disagree. I'm just talking about my personal experience on these games and this franchise that has been such a big part of my life in a chill way. So let's keep it fun. My question of the day, what is your favorite Black Ops game and why? And if you played the beta, what would you rank it and what were your thoughts of it? Now let's get into the Black Ops games. I'll go through the game modes individually for each title and then a review of the overall package. Black Ops 1 I think will be the shortest and sweetest out of the 4 Black Ops games reviews. Black Ops 1 kicked and still does kick ass in every department. Campaign, fire. Cool story with unforgettable moments. The multiplayer was my first Call of Duty multiplayer, and where I fell in love with that arcadey FPS action we all know. And zombies with maps like Kino Toten, 5, Moon Plus Remix was a great introduction to the mode for myself and millions of others. Black Ops 1 felt like every department got a good budget to do cool stuff, and they all came back with great results. Has it aged the best graphically? Oh hell no. But mechanically, this game laid the groundwork for the franchise and had passion put into every department. A-rank game, love Black Ops 1. Black Ops 2 is where the scale started to shift and quality overall started to change. I liked the story in 2, but it felt like a small step down from Black Ops 1. Still enjoyable, but not as memorable as the first. The multiplayer was and still is godlike, one of the best multiplayer modes ever made that set the bar for an entire generation of online first-person shooters. And the zombies have the perfect balance of highs and lows. You have fantastic maps like Mob and Origins, Buried is fire, Nuketown is aight, parts of Transit are cool, and we do not talk about Die Rise. So overall, taking everything into account, I feel like Black Ops 2 is also an A rank. Less balance overall compared to Black Ops 1 between all 3 modes, but the highs of multiplayer and zombies in Black Ops 2 carry the great experience you will have. Black Ops 3 is when a lot changed. Some high highs, but low lows. The story, I don't know if you could even call it that. Black Ops 3's campaign is one of the worst campaigns I've played in any game. When Yoda said fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate, hate leads to suffering, he was talking about the campaign of Black Ops 3, because there was a lot of suffering. I played the campaign once with friends, had a terrible time, and then uninstalled that with a quickness. F rank. Do not touch 3's campaign. 3's multiplayer is where I'm conflicted. The base gameplay was not that bad, but this was the main Treyarch COD where supply drops ruined my experience. After the first month, I was losing every game, getting dunked on by people who spent more money and got weapons that I never had a chance of getting. The only fun I had with 3's multiplayer was when I was doing private custom matches with friends, but the microtransactions left such a stain on the MP that I ended up uninstalling it after a year. This mode had potential but was ruined by corporate greed. However, even though this game has a trash campaign and a garbage business model for its multiplayer, the zombies experience in Black Ops 3 is easily the best in the franchise so far, to the point that many people have bought Black Ops 3 solely for zombies. Quality map after quality map throughout the season pass, and then a year after the season pass ended, Zombies Chronicles came out, which remastered 8 maps from previous games into Black Ops 3. I have almost 550 hours in Black Ops 3, and 95% of that is because of the zombies mode in this game. Especially on PC, the modding scene is crazy for this game. There are times I have played a map where if you didn't tell me it was made by passionate fans, I would assume this was an official Treyarch map. And then other times you get to fight zombies at McDonald's because, you know, mods be crazy. And the modding scene is still going to this day. There are still new mod maps being made for Black Ops 3 right now. So if you haven't played Black Ops 3, only do it if you're going to get into zombies and get the edition that has all of the zombies content, because you will have dozens if not hundreds of hours to go through. I am still playing the game to this day because of how awesome the zombies experience is. There are content creators in 2020 who get bonkers viewership on both YouTube and Twitch who still play Black Ops 3 for zombies. That's how good the game mode is. Sad that the MP and campaign weren't on the same level for this game though. It's a C tier game overall if you look at the full package, but if you want the ultimate Call of Duty Zombies experience, Black Ops 3 is like a triple S rank in that department. And lastly, Black Ops 4. They decided to not do a campaign for this one and instead decided to do a battle royale called Blackout. And it was decent. I wish the time to kill wasn't so short, or that Apex Legends would make the game irrelevant a few months later. But at the time, Blackout was aight. For the few times that I played it, I had a decent amount of fun. The multiplayer for Black Ops 4. I don't know what it is about it. Please let me know down below if you can relate, but I loved Black Ops 4's multiplayer. The specialist system was fun, and it felt like they went all in on fast-paced arcadey combat. The weapons were great, and the maps all had solid vibrance. It's also the only Black Ops game I wanted to prestige in because of how much I loved the multiplayer experience. I kept coming back to this game just for the multiplayer. That's how much fun I had. And lastly, we have the zombies. And boy was this zombie mode disappointing. Black Ops 4 zombies changed way too much. They changed the perk system, the zombie survivability, the UI, the story, and more to the point that didn't feel like the game mode that had been gradually evolving over the past decade. It felt like it was actively trying to be something that wasn't zombies. I won't go into all of the issues that it has. If you want a more in-depth analysis of it, I'll have an end card video by Tim Hansen, a zombies YouTuber, where he goes over the fall of zombies in Black Ops 4 and how it happened. But to sum up my experience, I felt like this version of zombies was made by people who didn't care. Activision clearly didn't give the zombies team the money or resources they needed, and as a result, this mode felt like an afterthought, as if it was a checkmark on a list rather than an instrumental part of the franchise that people bought Black Ops for. And with the amount of problems both technically and communication-wise with the community, things fell apart. Black Ops 4 zombie mode is not the worst zombie experience in Call of Duty. Maps like 9 and Classified were great. There have definitely been worse attempts from other dev teams, and I don't have the vitriol or hate that some people do for the mode, but what I do have is disappointment. And for me, that's worse, considering all the innovations that Black Ops 3 made with its zombies mode, and the monumental expectation that came with that. 4 actively felt like it was going backwards mechanically and graphically with its zombies mode, and ended up giving one that was just not memorable or satisfying. Black Ops 4 overall though is a B rank. It had an okay battle royale, fantastic multiplayer, but a disappointing downgrade of a zombies mode. So now that you have an idea for my taste in Black Ops and what I love most, let's talk about Cold War. I feel that Black Ops Cold War beta was a B rank. I had a good time, but the skill-based matchmaking, weapon and score streak balancing, and lighting issues need to be fixed before launch for the multiplayer experience to be the best it can be. The foundation is strong for all 3 departments of this game already. This feels like the first Black Ops game since 1 that has the potential for every section to get the same amount of attention and passion. The campaign, if it's more of what we saw at the PS5 event, looks like it'll be great. Zombies looks like it's making the innovations that 4 should have made, and is also actively trying to pull in new fans, which is also great. I just want Black Ops to go back to the roots of what made it memorable back in the day. Kick-ass story, multiplayer, and zombies. We haven't had a Black Ops game that's kept that consistent across all 3 modes in a while, so let's hope that Treyarch does that. I'll be reviewing the full game in November, so subscribe if you want to see more. Let me know what you think down below. Thank y'all for watching, stay safe, and have a blessed day.